Imagine the pressure of generating invoices for 100,000 customers at once. If your billing calculations or tax logic contain even a minor error, running that batch live commits those mistakes to the company's ledger across the entire dataset. To prevent that, today we are going to execute a high-volume parallel invoicing run in SAP Convergent Invoicing, but we will keep it strictly within a simulated environment to test our logic safely. This architecture diagram shows how the data flows. Notice the Invoicing and FICA block in the center. This is the critical gateway where multiple billing streams aggregate before the results are handed off to contract accounting for final posting. Running a simulation at this step allows for a full-scale test of the data pipeline, providing a hard system stop that prevents any permanent FICA postings from being created. To begin, access the mass invoicing interface by entering the transaction code FKK-INV_MA into a command field. You can also find this in the SAP Easy Access menu under Convergent Invoicing, Periodic Processing, and then Execute Invoicing. First, set the Date ID field to the current calendar date. This anchors the batch in time. In the Identification field, enter a unique alphanumeric code, something easily recognizable for your specific department or task. Establishing this precise run identification is necessary for tracking. Because SAP handles massive volumes of data, this code is the only way to quickly isolate and troubleshoot this specific dataset within the system logs later. Now, move to the General Selections tab to define the parameters for this specific batch. Enter your designated invoicing process code. This tells the system which business rules to apply to the source documents. You have the option to restrict the run to specific business partners here, or you can leave it blank to stress test the entire pending queue. Locate the Simulation Run checkbox and select it. This single action alters the entire processing pathway for the current run. As shown in this grid, selecting simulation mode for mass processing routes data into isolated number ranges, like C1. By locking documents in this range, no real financial postings are generated in FICA, preventing the need to create thousands of reversal documents for incorrect results. Checking this box establishes a definitive boundary, ensuring the run remains a safe, reviewable test rather than an immediate update to the production subledger. Once the simulation is set, move to the Technical Settings tab to configure how the server handles the data. You must select a parallel processing object, usually the business partner or contract account, to serve as the split criteria. Define the exact number of concurrent jobs you want to deploy. This determines how many lanes of processing the system will open. This configuration prevents database deadlocks by splitting the data into non-overlapping intervals. The process is complete. Each job processes its own block of business partners simultaneously, ensuring high performance without resource conflicts. Next, define the runtime end limits. This puts a strict cap on how long the server is allowed to run this specific test. In the log configuration, set the system to suppress success messages. This filters the output so you can focus strictly on identifying errors. Save your active parameters before moving to execution. Select the Schedule Program Run icon and set the job to deploy immediately in the background. Monitor the status until it confirms completion, then navigate to the application log to review the outcome. You will see that SAP still generates and safely closes a real reconciliation key in the background. This proves the structural consistency of the process, while leaving the actual production ledger untouched. You have successfully run a massive volume of invoicing documents with no risk to your production financials. Now you can drill down into these simulated documents to audit taxes, discounts, and totals, ensuring the results are accurate. Once the data is verified, return to the initial FKK-INV-MA transaction, uncheck the simulation box, and execute the live productive run. Validating the configuration logic through simulation ensures that high-volume mass invoicing remains a controlled and predictable financial operation.